Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Grits podcast.
Yep.
It's your boy Joseph, a.k.a. Jay with the Grits. And you already know, I'm here once again with my man Leon the Baller.
Yes, sir.
What's good, Leon?
What's good, man? How you feeling?
Man, I am feeling fantastic.
All right.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great. I'm excited about today's show and what we're going to get into.
Hey.
It's going to be a good one.
It's always going to be a good one. And thank everybody for definitely tuning in to the show. Please subscribe. Hit the notification button so you know when the videos are coming out. And also hit that like button. Show some love here. And we want to show you guys some love. You know, a lot of love to the NBA. To the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, the playoffs, they just really don't seem the same without the Lakers, LeBron James. It doesn't really seem the same without Kevin Durant, without Steph Curry. Those superstars we've been used to seeing. We kind of got spoiled. Yeah. And now we have some other teams that are still playing. The Suns. Yeah. You know, small market teams, right? Right. Do you notice a different dynamic in the playoffs itself?
I do notice a different dynamic, and I think for any sport, it's hard to see the top superstars in your league. Especially with the Lakers, they were expected to win it this year again, to repeat, and so they didn't. It didn't live up to expectations. So, and then you have Stephen Curry that didn't even make the playoffs as well. So it's like, man, in the East and in the West, you kind of look for those players because they've dominated the era for so long. Right. You don't see those, so it's weird. So like. But then you have these small market teams that are getting able to display what they got. I mean, look at what the Utahs have done. Look at what the Phoenix is doing. Right. Those teams right there. And then you have Milwaukee, which is not a big market team. Not at all. Right? And then you have Atlanta. Who would have thought Atlanta would be in the semifinals? Yes. Playing to go to the finals. And so... I think it's good for small market teams because it goes so like you don't need to be in a big market in order to make the finals. Right. So now a Trae Young look appealing because if Trae Young can get to the finals without another superstar, if I pair with him, if another superstar is saying if I can pair with Trae Young, then we can go to the finals. So they look more appealing now because they're reaching those pinnacles that nobody ever thought they would. So I think it's great. Yeah, and that's what the league, I feel, wanted. Right. You know, the league, when they had that collective bargaining agreement, especially when it came into paying the players, they wanted to create more parity in the league. They wanted those small market teams to be appealing. Right. Just like you're saying, even a team, maybe like the Knicks, that's a big market team, but the team wasn't really put together and structured the proper way to where they can maintain their superstar players. Right. But you have, like you said, a guy like Trae Young down in Atlanta. And I know Atlanta's a big city. You know, Atlanta's a major market when it comes to entertainment. Right. Atlanta's a major market when it comes to their football team. But when it comes to basketball, Atlanta's really not that big of a market. No. You know, and Milwaukee is also a small market. Phoenix is a small market team, a big city, I would say, in Arizona, but they're still a small market team. I think that the NBA has actually won in this instance. Even though LeBron's not in the playoffs, you're still having some LeBron conversation. Right. Even though Steph Curry's not in the playoffs, you're still seeing the way that the game has been revolutionized by Steph Curry. His imprint is still on the league. Right. And another thing to point out, I'm not sure if it wins. I can't go as far as to say that the NBA has won. Okay. Because let's be honest. Those mega stars, they put people in the stands. They put people in their seats. Right. And so you always want a big name attached to your event. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they won because so many mega stars are out. The Kevin Durant's is out. The Hardens is out. The Kyrie's is out. The LeBrons is out, the Stephen Curry's are out, the Lillards are out. Right. So I don't know outside of basketball or people who are fans of those particular individuals. Like LeBron fan base is huge. Stephen Curry's fan base is huge. It is. So that fan base goes with them. Right. You know, so Lillard fan base is humongous. So KD, Harden. So I don't know if they win, but I will say this. I think that it's amazing how the superstars are getting behind the finals. Okay. I saw when Giannis went down, I saw LeBron tweeting when he got hurt and, he hyperextended his knee. LeBron tweeted, wow, get better. So they're not really salty. I think it's the fans that really take it to heart that our team is not in there. But the players is like, okay, oh, well, we'll reboot for next season. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get that one, we'll get the next one. And so I think it's awesome how they're supporting the teams that are left and how CP3 is a Cinderella story of the season.
He is.
And so it's well deserving at what he's doing. But it's good to see people supporting CP3 and finally making it so.
The support is there.
Right.
The fans are supporting.
Right.
Other teams are supporting the teams that are currently playing.
Right.
But when you say that there's no superstars that are still in the game, there's always going to be the last two teams that are going to play.
Right.
So when you get from round 1 all the way to round 4, which is going to be the NBA Finals, it's going to decrease the amount of superstars that are going to be there.
Right.
But one thing you can't count on is a superstar in Giannis.
Yes.
Now, he is out, right? He didn't play the last 2 games. And so hopefully he's ready to play. We saw how Milwaukee was able to dominate the last game against Atlanta. And hopefully he can get more rest so that, once Milwaukee clinches the series, they're ready to go to the finals. But you have a Giannis who's going to bring a lot of attention, who attracts an audience.
Yeah.
The Greek Freak, I mean, he's been top voter in All-Stars, at least compared to LeBron James. He's on that list, so he is a high caliber player.
Right.
Chris Paul, State Farm commercials. He's been one of those players that have been brought more into your home, so people can kind of get more familiar with Chris Paul.
Right.
And like you said, it's a Cinderella story for Chris Paul.
Right.
Yo, Chris Paul is going to the finals.
Man, I think that's huge. Like, and this is what I want to say about Chris Paul. I love him as a player. There's a lot of players don't like him because they say he has a potty mouth, right? But Chris Paul is old school mentality.
Yeah.
He's one of the last of his breeds, the Kobe Bryants, those Shaqs, those Dwayne Wades, those type of players that have that killer instinct, and they're not your friend when you play. We're not friends on the court. That's Chris Paul's mentality. He's one of the last of the breed, and it's going to be dangerous to have that type of player in the finals. The Bucks better be really careful because I think that Chris Paul still has enough left in his tank to will them to win because he's such a game-changing type player. He's a transcendent type talent, and I think being on this ultimate stage, I honestly think that he's going to will his team to win.
Wow, that's. The Bucks are a team that plays great defense.
Yes.
They extend it out, but the Bucks can also, on offense, go inside or outside. Brook Lopez, and one thing about the Bucks is something that I've been saying all year. Defense and size. Now, coaching also matters in the NBA, especially in the playoffs.
Right.
Both of these teams have great coaches.
Right.
I feel like Monty Williams should have been coach of the year.
Okay.
Chris Paul is another coach on the floor.
Okay.
And I think that he does, very well with getting his players in position. But you're playing against Drew Holiday.
Right.
And defensively, Drew Holiday is one of the best point guards on the ball that has ever played in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is. But let's be real. Can't nobody guard Chris Paul. Can't nobody call Trae Young. You see what Trae Young is doing to Drew Holiday.
Okay.
So Chris Paul is one of he has probably the highest IQ other than LeBron in the NBA.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to get to his spots. He knows how to get his team involved. He's a mini LeBron. And he can dominate in his capacity. So you have a healthy Chris Paul. You have, which I believe that the Bucks is going to close it out against Atlanta tonight, even if Trae Young plays.
Okay.
I think the Bucks they're just a better team. I ultimately think the Bucks will win this game. So you have a hyperextended knee. It does that. The way that Giannis walked off the court, he needed help. He's hurt.
He is.
A hyperextended knee doesn't heal overnight. You need time for that knee to heal.
So then Milwaukee should lose tonight on purpose.
No, no, because you want healing and resting time.
You do.
You want healing and resting time, and so his injury didn't look good, even though the MRI came back clean.
Yeah.
The injury didn't look good. So you're gonna have a hobbled Giannis superstar, and you got two superstars coming at you. And then you have one that's been playing well with that. I'm really impressed with is their center,
Ayton.
Deion Ayton.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
He's coming into his own, and this is great experience for him.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a grind. I think it's gonna be the Suns in 7.
Yeah. NBA is all about matchups.
Matchups, yes.
We talk about matchups here. We talk about systems,
yes,
playing within that system and making the best of that system that you're playing in. 7 games in this series, I would, you know what, Leon? I would agree. 7 in the series because I think these two teams are very evenly matched.
Right.
With Giannis, because Giannis is not a threat offensively from the perimeter.
Right.
And the way that the Suns play team defense, they're able to rotate and switch really quickly to where if the ball does go interior and it kicks out to the wing, they can retreat and they can get to the wing very quickly and close out.
Yeah.
They force a lot of turnovers.
I agree.
They have long wings that are quick, and if they get their hands on deflections, which they do create a lot of turnovers, they can get in transition very easily.
I agree. I agree. But so can the Suns. The Suns are young.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was speaking of how the Suns defense.
Okay.
That's why I would agree on 7 games because of the way that the Suns do play defense. Yeah,
absolutely. And so I would give it to the Bucks if it was a healthy Giannis. But I just don't see him being healthy that quick.
If Chris Paul, Chris Paul is going to the finals.
Right.
You got a Giannis that is hurt. If Chris Paul wins the NBA Finals, Leon, he's probably going to be MVP of the finals.
Yeah.
Like what's up?
It's overdue. I mean, the guy has dominated. He's in the top 3 point guards of all time.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, where does that place him? Where does that put his legacy of like all? They call him the point guard.
Okay, I'll put him in. Okay.
That's CP3.
So let me read. I'll put him in my top 5.
Okay.
I'll put him in my top 5. The reason why is that the way that Chris Paul controls the game, the way he's able to get his players, make them better. He can get his players to believe in winning. He can get to his spots. He can do so many things. He can control the pace of the games, and he can do all these things. And this is what I want to tell young people about Chris Paul. Like, you guys need to really model yourself after him. The way his approach to the game, his mindset. He plays like he's 7 feet. His skill set is ridiculous. He know how to control the pace. He know how to get to spots. He know how to shoot. He's an excellent defender. He know how to get other players better around him. It's not all about shooting threes, and it seems like that's the glamorous part. But Chris Paul does so many intangible things that affects and impacts the game. And so, point guards out there, you guys really need to go back and watch Chris Paul's career. And he's only 6 feet, and he's been in the league for 16 years, and he's been a superstar in this league. So if you want to be one of the best point guards, I guarantee if you watch Chris Paul, it'll definitely elevate your game. But I think that it's well-deserving. I mean, it's a Cinderella story, and I love how other players are really, really supporting CP3. You know, even though, the Clippers guy, what's his name, didn't like it too much. You know, he pushed Chris Paul in the back.
Oh, Patrick Beverly.
Oh, but even through all that, and I know that it's been known that Chris Paul gets under your skin.
Yes.
And that showed right there on a world stage how Chris Paul can get under your skin.
Right.
But to watch him, his resiliency, how he jumped from team to team. Look what he did with OKC.
Yeah.
They thought that OKC was going to be a lottery team. He took them all the way to the playoffs. And look what he's doing with the Suns. I mean, the guy, wherever he goes, he's a winner. It's one thing that you can't say about Chris Paul is that he is a winner, and he's going to bring that attitude wherever he goes. And so I respect him, and I'm rooting for him, and I pray that he wins the championship this year.
Yeah, and you guys heard it best from Leon. I mean, we call him Leon the Baller for a reason.
Yes.
You know, former basketball player, former coach. as well too. So definitely take these nuggets. And you're right, Chris Paul, his leadership is off the chain.
Yeah,
You know, it's
absolutely.
off the chain. And we want to definitely thank everybody for tuning in to the Morning Grits podcast.
Yes.
You know, it's been real. Leon brought a whole bunch of nuggets here about what it takes to be great. And so hopefully you young kids definitely do pay attention to all those jewels that Leon just dropped. My name is Joseph, a.k.a. Jay with the Grits.
And I'm Leon the Baller.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
You with the grits.
Are you with the Grits?